In this in-depth AI sales secrets masterclass, I'm revealing the secrets of how we're actually scaling past 100K months using one thing, AI. Hi, if we've never met before, my name is Larry Antiporta, and I've personally closed over 5.4 million in high-ticket sales, but I'm most proud of actually scaling 4 different sales teams from 6 to their first 7-figure year. In fact, I'm working on my 5th one right now. Took over a team about 2 months ago. They're about 60 to 70,000 in revenue. We just had a record-breaking month this past month at 297,000 in revenue. Now, why was that actually possible? Well, we solved their 2 key problems, which was booking more calls and closing more deals. And how are we going to do that in 2025 is what I'm actually revealing in this masterclass. It's what I call the new hybrid sales team. So we're using AI sales reps to actually double, triple the call volume, triple the actual revenue that you get at no extra cost and in half the time. 24/7 on autopilot. This is the new way to scale your sales this year. Now, that being said, this is a full 97-minute plus breakdown, step by step, the exact AI sales strategies that I'm using in my business, we're using in our clients' businesses to literally explode their sales and their revenue more than ever before. Now, that being said, if you stay until the end of this video, I'm actually gonna give you access to test out this AI setter for free. So stay until the actual end of this video to get access to that. And without further ado, let's get right into the training. Well, let's get this show on the road. So what is the purpose of this masterclass? What is my intention for every single person here? All right. 3 things. Number 1, I'm going to walk you through how the top 1% of coaches, consultants, agency owners, and B2B business owners are scaling to 100,000 per month and beyond with what I call this hybrid AI sales team. Okay. I'm going to explain a little bit what that is. It's not just like marketing speak. It's actually something that I've developed. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to share the 5 unique case studies for AI that you can implement today to increase efficiency, profitability, more freedom, more security, more consistency, right? This is not just theory. These are actually use cases that I'm implementing right now with me and my clients that you can actually start using today. And even if you don't use all 5, you can actually come out of this masterclass with one thing, okay? And that's actually my invitation. Don't try to do a bunch of things at once. Just try one thing, implement it. These are things you can actually implement on your own if you choose to, right? So that is my invitation. And number 3, by the end of the masterclass, I'm going to share how the AI sales rep actually works and how you can use it yourself. Okay. So yes, this is a live class. As you guys can see, if you guys are watching this replay, it is January 23rd, 12:08 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm making this for a strict, specific group amount of people. Now, if you fall outside of this realm, that's totally okay. You can still use this, and most importantly, use the mindset to benefit in your life and in your business. But I have this specifically for an audience in mind. So if you're running a coaching, consulting, or a B2B agency between $10,000 to $50,000 per month, this is for you, right? So guys, real quick, before I can actually move forward, just drop in the chat. What are you guys currently doing? What's your guys? Are you guys a coach? Are you a consultant? What business are you doing? What offer? Maybe you're a sales rep. Just drop in the chat. I want to see what everyone's doing right now. Aaron, closer looking to scale. Michael's in remote sales. Ben's a growth partner. Love that, man. I do a lot of growth partner work myself. Steven's a sales rep. Love that. Sam's an AI automation agency. Will's in B2B SaaS. Anna's in sales. Antonio's in coaching consulting. Sharon's an offer consultant. Steven's a fitness coaching. Okay, cool. Love it, guys. Love it. Love it. Love it. So whether you're a sales rep, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're some sort of B2B service provider, this will apply to you simply because I have sales reps right now. I'm actually working with a sales rep who understood the power of this AI and is actually using it within their own offer to 2 to 3x their commissions. So there's multiple different use cases for this. I invite everyone to figure out and be creative, think outside the box. Maybe how can I use this AI for what I'm doing right now, right? So that being said, who else is this for? Well, if you hit a revenue ceiling and can't get your sales or your team to increase their inputs to book you more qualified calls, this is for you. You might have tried paid ads, but you can't get it to work profitably. You're interested about building AI solutions, but just don't know where to start. Maybe because you're like, dude, all this tech stuff is like so confusing, right? You might have already even dabbled in AI systems or ChatGPT, but you can't just get something to work consistently and actually get you real revenue. Or you're maybe just looking for a more highly leveraged, cost-effective way to generate sales calls on your calendar, but you feel like you've tried everything. So with that being said, right, if you answered yes to any of these things, I'm making this masterclass specifically for you. All right. Because here's what we're gonna cover today. There's three key things: the opportunity, the blueprint, and the game plan. All right. So the opportunity. Why 2025, in my firm belief, is the year of AI agents that are gonna make you rich. Okay. Why is 2025 the year of AI agents? I'm gonna explain what all that looks like. Number two, the blueprint. So I'm gonna show you guys what I call the new hybrid AI model that the top 1% of coaches, consultants, agency owners, and my own clients, what we're using to efficiently book more calls, get more leads, and most importantly, scale past 100K months, get to that seven figures, right? And last but not least, the game plan. How you can actually leverage an AI sales rep in 5 unique ways to 3x your sales calls and 3x your most importantly, your deals. Okay. So that being said, guys, that's what we're going to cover today. I want to make sure everyone is on the same page there. If you, again, stay until the end, I'll actually share that game plan with you guys. I'll give you guys the actual coaching behind it, and we can make this more specific. All right? Sound good? Drop a yes in the chat if all that sounds good. All right. Yes, yes. Augustine, my brother in the house. Good to see you. Sharon says yes. Sam says yes. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Michael says sweet. All right. So, guys, if anyone doesn't know me here, here's a little bit of a insight of who I am. That way, you know, it's not just some random guru, some TikTok influencer who's like 19 years old that's only been in business for like 6 months, right? I've been in the game for a while, right? I've been in sales for almost a decade, about 9 years. And most importantly, I've been a business owner in this online remote digital marketing world since 2018. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, I've closed over 5.4 million in high ticket sales. I've been every single role that you can imagine. I've been a setter, I've been a closer, I've been a sales manager, sales director, VP of sales, I've been a business owner, agency owner, right? So that's coming from someone who has seen every part of the sales process, right? But most importantly, what I'm really proud of is I've scaled over 4 sales teams from 6 to 7 figures, right? As an actual sales manager, sales director on those teams. And I've coached over 200 plus business owners and sales reps to become sales savages, or for anyone who's in my school community, I call them sales samurai, right? So I've spoken on some stages, right? I've shared, I've shared some stages with some 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs. This is one of my sales teams I'm proud of. I took a sales team that was in a health coaching offer from 120K months to 384,000 months in 90 days. In 1 quarter, we did that, right? This was our big cash collected day, almost 43,000 in cash collected in one day, right? I took one offer, one client of mine, Igor, from 0 to 100K in 30 days on a brand new B2B offer, right? And this is one of my recent clients. Actually, it's a B2B wholesaling real estate offer there. In less than 60 days, we're about 45, 50 days in. We closed 27 units this month alone. Okay, so we doubled their sales in the past 45 days. So I'm a normal guy. I'm not anyone special. I've just really done the hard work and most importantly, had the open and coachable mind to learn from my mentors, my coaches. For anyone who knows, here's Jeremy Miner, here's James Conti, one of my favorite Australians of the world. He runs a 7-figure e-com coaching program. Here's one of my good friends, Andrew Caruzzi. He actually sold his old 7-figure coaching business and now he has a new one, Masters of Fate. And here's some of my past sales reps who've just been crushing it, right? I show you all these things not to impress you guys, but really to show you that all these results came from one thing. And this is what I'm going to share with you guys today, which is the key to 100K months to a 7-figure business comes down to building powerful, efficient sales systems. And I have never, until recently, found a more efficient way to build powerful 7-figure sales systems than through AI. Okay. So whether you're the sales rep that learns how to use AI or the business owner that actually installs the right 7-figure AI sales systems, this is what the core of this masterclass is going to be, right? My goal is to share with you guys what I believe the most leveraged way to take what all these guys in the sales industry or in the online digital marketing or SaaS world, and I'm going to compile that into one thing. And over the next hour, I'm going to share how we can actually install this quote unquote AI sales chip, or what I call my 7-figure sales operating system inside of your business, maybe even through a tool for your guys' sales reps, and immediately increase your sales without doing any of the funny stuff, right? You don't got to spend the 9 years of sales that I had to learn. You don't hire expensive sales consultants or sales coaches or an agency that puts you on a crazy monthly retainer. You don't got to pay a bunch of human sales reps that end up underperforming and that suck and that end up just quitting after like 30 days, right? And I even invite you, don't even have to buy a bunch of sales training from people who have no experience selling your offer, right? So that being said, I'm going to go through the old way of scaling a sales team that's keeping most people stuck, right? But real quick, let me get a poll. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're a sales rep on a sales team right now. Drop a 2 in the chat if you're a business owner who has or is trying to build a sales team right now. So 1 if you're a sales team on the chat right now, 2 if you're a business owner who's trying or has an existing sales team. I want to see where everyone's at. Augustine is 2. Dennis is 1. Stephen is 1. Michael is 1. Okay, got it. Got it. Cool, cool, cool. All right, Hadzwan's 1. Okay, cool. So my invitation for some of the ones in the chat is you can find a revolutionary technology with AI today that you might be able to bring to your actual business owner and have a powerful system that's going to help you 2 to 3x your commissions. Or you can even figure out how to install this within yourself. I know one guy I'm talking to on Twitter, he's figuring out how to use this AI so he can work simultaneously 3 different offers right now. 3 different offers. And do so in a way where he's actually making money from multiple streams of different offers. All right. Isn't that a question to ponder today? Right? What would actually happen if you could work 2 to 3 offers without you having to do all that work yourself? Now that is the power of AI. Okay. So with that being said, let me share with you guys why the old way of scaling a sales team is keeping you stuck. Why I believe we are in one of the fundamental disruptions of all time when it comes to sales. So after scaling several sales teams, here's the industry average of usually what I find. Okay. So this is like what I personally have found. This is what some of my, clients have also found. These are even just some of what my colleagues are doing. So generally these are the different levels of what a sales team will evolve into. So think of it as like the evolution of a sales team. Okay. 0 to 20K, it's usually solo. So it's usually just going to be the business owner. You don't necessarily need to hire a sales team, nor do I recommend that you hire one right from the start, right? Usually around 20K per month, you have enough work and you have enough, most importantly, efficiency that you can actually do everything yourself. Okay. 20 to 50K per month is usually where the first hire is made. So if anyone is around that 20K mark or 30K mark, you usually can, usually want to start thinking about having a setter. So it can either be a VA, it could be another just entry level sales rep. That's usually when you only have like one other person. Some people might have 2. I found the best efficiency and the least complexity is usually with 1. All right. Then when you kind of evolve, you might have around 50 to 100K per month. So that's usually where you might start thinking about hiring your first closer. You might have 2 setters under you, and you, to a certain extent, might still be working the sales process. I know some people who are still working their sales calls, right? I know some people who want to just immediately get out of sales calls. So it really depends on you, but usually generally what I'll find is 2 setters, 1 closer, and you're kind of, as a business owner, maybe off the sales calls or taking a few sales calls per week, right? Then level number 4 is usually going from 100 to 150K per month. You have 2 closers, 3 setters, and you end up becoming the sales manager, or you might actually hire a part-time sales manager for you. So it starts getting a little bit more complex. You have like 6 people on the actual sales team, right? And then usually the evolution from there is from 150 to 250K per month. You have 2 to 3 closers, 4 setters, a sales manager, and then you. And usually around this level, you try to remove yourself as much as possible, but you're going to have anywhere from 7 to 8 people on your team. Now, this is the way that it's always usually been done. It's the traditional way. It's the old way. And most of the time, the belief that a lot of people have is this is the only way to scale a sales team. That's the belief. And I'm going to be honest with everyone here. That was my belief for the longest time. I thought the only way to scale a sales team was by either hiring more people or getting the people who you currently have to be as efficient as possible. Okay. So that is oftentimes what we see. Now, that being said, I'm curious where your guys' sales team might be. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're around the first level. Drop a 2 in the chat if you're number 2. Drop a 3 in the chat if that's where your sales team is. Drop a 4 if this is where your sales team is at. Drop a 5 if this is where your sales team is at. I want to see where everyone's like different levels of their sales team is currently at. So Michael's at 2, RJ's at 1. Okay. Closing PHP is at 4. Closing PHP, I know exactly who you are. Waleed's at 1, Aaron's at 1, Antonio's at 1. Okay, cool. So we got some 1s, we got some 2s, we got some 4s, right? So that being said, whatever level you're at, this will work. And most importantly, you can figure out how to use AI to work at your specific level. It just comes down to, at the end of the day, how can I customize? How can I specialize my AI for where my current level is at, right? So that being said, let's keep moving on. Why is this old model broken and outdated? So I'm going to share with you guys a quick little image here. This is what happens when you actually scale a sales team with labor or with humans. When you add one person, the line of communication is only actually 2. It's only between you and the other person. The problem is, as you scale sales teams, it's not a linear progression. It's actually a multiplicative progress. Multiplicative, right? So when you have just 2 people, it's just 2 lines of communication. When you have 3 people, it's actually 6 lines of communication. When you have 4 people, you have 24 lines of communication. So what does that mean? Okay. If you're not good at math like me, what does this mean? Right? The reason I got into sales was because I was bad at math. But all I know what this means is at the end of the day is as there's more people, things get more complicated. The biggest enemy to scale is complexity. The biggest savior to scale is simplicity. And AI is what creates simplicity. Okay? Because the number one obstacle that you and your team will face is sales team complexity, which is attached to what we call labor. Okay. Anyone know who Naval Ravikant is? Drop a me in the chat if you know who Naval is. Naval Ravikant. Drop a me in the chat if you know who Naval is. Go. Yeah, Dennis. Yep. Ganesh. Okay. Yep. So we got some people who are familiar. So if anyone who doesn't know who Naval is, right? Definitely read his book, like Ganesh says. His book is amazing. Naval Ravikant is a multi-millionaire, and he actually created this company, AngelList, which was valued at $4 billion. Okay, so he's probably a smart guy to listen to. His book, I can't recommend enough. But one of my favorite quotes from his book that I will never forget that changed my business and my life forever, as he said this: the new generation of wealth is built using leverage tools like code, media, and capital. Code, media, and capital, not manual labor. Okay, not manual labor. So if we want to build wealth, if we want to increase our sales, if we want to get to that next generation of wealth, we got to be what? We got to be leveraged. Drop a leverage in the chat if that resonates. Drop a leverage in the chat, my people. Come on. Leverage in the chat. Yep, leverage. Come on. Michael Rosenberg, leverage. Peter Cersei, leverage. Lewis, leverage. Yes. So at the name of the game, why is AI so important is because for the first time in human history, we can actually create true leverage with sales. True leverage, okay? Because the traditional sales model relies on almost 100% labor. The new AI sales model, which I'm going to teach you guys here today, relies on code. It combines code and labor, all right? Code, media. This is where we want to be. Code and media. And guys, for the longest time, I was scratching and losing my mind. How can I create more leverage in sales? Because guys, the truth was when I was a sales rep, when I was a full-time closer, when I was a setter, even when I was building sales teams, I realized that my biggest limitation was sales is fundamentally a model that only relies on labor. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me how to create more leverage. Sure, you can have like go high level automations, great. We can use those things. We can use software, sure. But I'm talking about it still fundamentally relied on 80% of the human. So again, Augustine, right on. We're limited on time. We're limited on labor. We can fundamentally not work 24/7, 7 days a week for more than a year. Maybe David Goggins can, but I can't. I don't know about you guys. I'm not David Goggins, right? I'm just a normal guy, right? But no, I don't think anyone here is David Goggins. Maybe Lewis is David Goggins, all right? And Ben said it. It's burnout. It's burnout. So for the longest time, I wanted to figure out how can I create leverage with sales? Because when we look at history, right? Let's look at history. New forms of leverage disrupt the marketplace and create new wealth. So let's go back in time. Let's take a little like time machine, go back 10 years back, 2015, right? I don't know. There might be some kids here who are maybe still in elementary in 2015. I don't know. Maybe my TikTok got to you guys, so that's why you're here. But I don't know. And if anyone is here, a millennial like me, or maybe you're older generation, or maybe you're an older Gen Z, right? At the end of the day, we got to look at the fundamental thing, which is marketing faced this disruption back around the 2010s, right? So the old way to market was what? And Augustine, I don't mean to call you out, but you might remember this, right? Was handing out flyers, right? People would be out there on the flyers, posting up the little like wallpaper. They're like, oh, here's a little flyer of my concert. Come show up, right? That was the old way of marketing, which was labor. Maybe you saw those people like with the little fancy signs doing all the tricks, right? That's labor. So it's very inefficient, right? But then the new way to market came out. Facebook ads, social media. This came out in the 2010s. And a new path was born. Everyone who understood the true power of Facebook ads around 2010 to 2015, they're the 7-figure, 8-figure, and even 9-figure entrepreneurs, business owners of today. This happened because of one thing. They figured out how to leverage code and media, right? Again, the highest form of leverage in marketing. And guess what? Sales finally has center stage. We're finally getting the highest form of leverage in sales, which is AI. All right, because the old way to sell was human sales rep calling leads, boiler room style, calling leads, spending hours and hours of day, your day. I used to spend 5 to 6 hours of my day trying to do like 200 cold calls. Guys, this is a bold statement, but do you know the volume of how many dials an AI sales rep can call in 1 hour? Guys, let's get some guesses in the chat. How many calls do you think an AI sales rep can call in an hour? Lewis says 50,000. Okay, what else? What's some other guesses in the chat? What's some other guesses in the chat? Michael says unlimited. Augustine says 10. Okay, what else? Michael says 5 million. These are some crazy guesses. Crazy guesses. Okay, no idea. 600. Okay. So Lewis was the closest. It's about 60,000 calls in 1 hour. That's possible. And Augustine is right. It depends on the AI, but the maximum limit that we can do is 60,000 calls in 1 hour. Now, I'm not sitting here and telling you that you should be ripping the AI for 60,000 calls because, like Michael said, it depends on the right leads, right? Lewis says, how can I spam 50,000 cold calls to the Latinas? He's trying to get his online dating funnel. I love that. So this is true leverage, guys. What used to take an hour, think about it. If you could spend an hour spending 100 flyers out to people, and with Facebook ads, based on your ad budget, you can literally get 10,000, 50,000 people seeing your actual ad in 1 or 2 hours, or depending on the budget, right? The same thing is happening for AI sales reps right now, which is we're having 100x, 1,000x multiplier effect with AI. Okay? So can everyone see the magnitude of how powerful this disruption, this opportunity is? Drop a yes in the chat if you can see. I want to see who's the smart people in this group right now. Who can see this? Yep. Trixina says yes. Right? Sam says yes. Dennis says yes. Peter says yes. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Antonio says yes. Yep, it's like Facebook ads in 2013, man. This is what the opportunity is. So if you're like me, and I wish I could get a time machine to go back in time to go back and be like, man, I wish I took more advantage of Facebook ads, right? I wish I understood the magnitude of this opportunity. Well, guess what? You don't need the time machine. You're right here. You're in a fundamental life-changing moment. Okay? You're in a fundamental life-changing moment. We don't need those things. Because right now, the Facebook ads of 2015 is AI in sales in 2025. This is the theme of the next decade. Okay? This is the theme of the next decade. So, with that being said, here's what I used to be told, right? I used to be told in order to get more sales, more deals, you just need to hire a VA, et cetera, a closer from a recruiting agency, right? Here's the truth. I've hired from those recruiting agencies, like from the guys like closers.io, other placement guys, right? Truth is, the problem is not that simple. In fact, I've been that recruiter. I've been that guy who has a sales agency working with people to recruit top placement. It's not that easy. It can solve a part of the problem, but there's multiple parts of the problem that we need to solve, right? You might have also been told that you just need to run more paid ads and get more leads, right? You might be a sales rep who's like working with your business owner. We need to get more leads. We need to get more paid ads. Well, here's the truth, guys. The cost of acquiring a client and booking a call only gets more expensive by the day. Ads are only getting more expensive. Book calls are only getting more expensive. Leads are only getting more expensive. So it's only a temporary fix, right? And like Augustine said, is like once you train a VA, they would lead to a higher bidder. That's one of the issues is people just end up quitting. You spend all these hours training someone, you up level them, right? And then they ended up just leaving to someone else. So again, another temporary fix. And then you might have even heard this, which is just invest in sales trading, just get better in closing. You just need a sales coach so that you can close more deals. You just suck at closing. Well, hey, as a fellow sales coach, the truth is that only solves one of the many problems. It will solve your issue going from like 0 to like 25K and 50K. But if we're truly trying to build a 7-figure sales machine, you need to solve it from a systematic issue. Okay. So as a sales coach myself, this only solves one of the many problems required to scale a business to 100K per month beyond $250,000. And that, like Lewis says, you need more volume. Okay. So if anyone has heard any one of these things, drop a me in the chat. Have you guys heard of any of these things? Maybe you've tried some of these things. I'm curious to see what everyone else is, if they're also facing the same thing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in my own silo and it's just me who's hearing this. But drop a me in the chat if Michael's been there. Yep, Michael's been there. Okay, cool. Stephen's been there. Right. And guys, quick thing. Make sure that if you're in the chat, there's a drop down to change it to everyone. I see some people are only giving it a host and panelist. I want to make sure everyone's hearing for everyone. So make sure you drop the Zoom masterclass chat from, let's say, host and panelist to everyone if you haven't already. There you go. See, Michael did it. Make sure you do that. Some housekeeping stuff. Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right, so let's get to the juice. Let's get to the real juice. All right. Why is generating appointments efficiently is the biggest obstacle when scaling, right? The sales team complexity. So here's the thing. Again, with the old model, it introduced complexity and operational drag the moment you try to scale, right? Since the rise of the cost to acquire customer through paid ads and other companies, we're looking for actually more efficient ways to acquire more customers with the least amount of time, energy, and capital spent. Again, more leverage. Because with the old model, you'll spend 5K a month in ads, 10 hours a day you'll have to use just to like maximize that opportunity, right? So if you only scale through labor, if you double your ads, guess what? You're going to have to spend 20 hours a day just to do that. So how do people solve it traditionally? Well, hey, if you're a business owner who's stuck on the sales calls, right? I think my boy Oliver is in this chat, right? When Oliver started with me, he was stuck on sales calls. We were putting more marketing efforts, right? And the only way to scale was, hey, take more sales calls. And then after that, we were like, okay, well, we need to place someone inside of here. We need to get a setter or another closer to come inside of here so that we can help remove you or at least reduce the amount of sales calls you're doing, right? So that's the traditional way. It's like 1+1, right? Well, we got to change it. We got to change it from addition to multiplication. So let's actually talk about it a little bit, right? Let's go into my good old Miro boards. Here's what's happening. The old traditional model, again, usually requires you to hire through more labor. So you might be the sales manager, you might hire a sales manager to have a 100K cash collected month. What I usually had to have was at least 3 setters, 2 closers, right? And that team would pay me as a sales manager anywhere from 10 to 15K. Okay. That's the old way. Would usually, again, require 5 to 6 people to have a 100K cash collected month, right? Again, it's cash. We're not talking 150K generator, 200K generator. We're talking about cash here. With the new model with AI, you can actually run very, very lean. Here's the hybrid sales model that I found works really well. This is 100K cash collected, same numbers, but different here is one, you could remove the sales manager altogether because you're literally only managing 1 to 2 people at most. So we're taking what used to take 5 to 6 people and we're cutting it by more than half. We're talking 1 to 2 people. You get a lead closer to handle the majority of the volume, and then you get what I call a hybrid closer, which is like part setter, part closer. And then you have an AI setter that is functioning. Because remember, guys, an AI setter, this is the key here. An AI setter can be the magnitude of 3 human setters when fully ramped up. Okay. And I'm not saying here you need to replace 3 human setters with 1 AI right now, but that is the opportunity here. I have some teams who are still having their setters and working with the AI. I have some teams who just have the AI. It's going to be really up to you and your preference and what your offer is, right? Some people don't need the humans at all if they just want to take the calls. But what I'm fundamentally trying to show you guys here is that you can literally solve this issue of human complexity by adopting this new hybrid AI sales team model, right? So if that sounds good, drop a 1 in the chat. Like, do you guys want to see the numbers? What do the numbers actually look like the money math, right? I'm going to show you guys some real math of what this looks like. Some real math. Okay. Guys, I'm going to be talking to the sales reps for a second. If you're a sales rep and you can show this math to your business owner, could you imagine that your role in that team is no longer just being a sales rep? You can actually come in there as a sales consultant, a sales AI consultant, and build this out for them. So I'm going to show you, this is what I'm doing with one of my guys right now. Your opportunity here is not just to like, hey, let's get more calls and use this for yourself. You can actually bring this blueprint to the business owner and be like, hey, I'm going to implement this inside the business. And not only are you going to pay me 10% commissions, but I'm going to show you guys how you can command 15, 20, maybe even 30% commissions on all closed deals and revenue and command a nice monthly retainer and base. So this is the opportunity for the sales reps here. Okay. And then for the business owners, I'm going to show you how you can literally get 6 figures back in your pocket with this model. So let's go through the math. Augustine says, get a partner agreement first before you show the owner. Yeah, exactly. Because you never know. They might just take that damn blueprint and start installing it themselves, right? Augustine, smart guy here. That's exactly. You want to make sure that you do this. So let's look at the math. Again, industry average is the monthly timeline, 100K cash collected, simulating everyone performs average and equal performance, okay? So in a sales team, there's not always going to be everyone going to be like 100% all the same, right? There's going to be some averages. So if I was on a 100K cash collected team, I was usually demanding anywhere from 5 to 10K retainer for these guys as a sales manager, okay? I'm collecting 5 to 10K cash collected, which usually will average about 10 to 15K that I'll command for a team, right? So if they're making 100K or 150K, that's usually the cut that I would get as a fractional sales manager, right? Setter number 1, 2,500. Setter number 2, 2,500. Setter number 3, 2,500. Let's say closer number 1 collects 50K, right? Closer number 2 collects another 50K. So this is the payout that the business owner will give to the sales team, right? So if you collect 100K, this is what you owe your sales team. I'm not even talking about ads. I'm not even talking about paying client success. This is just the sales team, guys. That's what people don't understand. Is you'll see like these Stripe screenshots of business owners making like 100, 150K, 200K cash per month. But like sales teams are expensive. They are a expensive ass machine, man. They're not cheap. So generally, what will happen is before paid ads, you're giving out like 32%, 32.5% of that to the sales team. If you have a good sales team, you'll be like 32K that you're just gonna have to say sayonara to. Okay. Now, when you actually add the ads, let's say you do 10K in monthly ad spend, that's 42.5 thousand dollars that you will have to give back to your team, to the paid ads machine, to Mr. Mark Zuckerberg before you even see your cut. And that's not including the client success. That's not including the monthly subscriptions in the software. It's not always sunshine and rainbows being a business owner, y'all. That's why I started off as a closer first before I really fully delved into this world that I'm in. And this is why most online businesses literally can't scale effectively. They're operating off razor thin margins. So again, any of those who are posting the fancy 250K month Stripe screenshots, guys, they're secretly in trouble. This is what my business owner clients and my colleagues don't want to tell y'all is that they're secretly in trouble. It used to be great back in like 2018, 2020, when like, again, ad costs weren't that expensive. But now in this world in 2025, it's razor thin margins and the founders are taking home less than their sales reps. Guys, when I was a full-time closer making 15, 20K plus in comms, I was bringing home more than some of the business owners, believe it or not. I know that because as a fractional sales consultant, I see how much the business owners are taking home. And I had some of my past offer owners outright tell me that I was making double what they were making. So there's always, a grass is greener situation happening. And the sales team complexity is one of the biggest constraints preventing you from true freedom, profitability, and consistency, right? So if that makes sense, guys, if we can all get in the same page, we can start to understand the power of why we want more leverage. We can finally solve this issue once and for all. So if you guys want to see the AI math, drop a show me the money in the chat. Come on, show me the money. Who wants to see the money for how the AI will help solve this? Show me the money. Come on. I'm not going to move forward until I see some in the chat. Okay. Yep. Will says, show me the money. I need it. Hazwan says, show me the money. Truxina says, show me the money. Steven says, show me the money. All right. Augustine, show me the dinero. I like that, my friend. I like that. So now let's look at with a new model with AI math, right? It's, again, AI sales setter, a lead closer, and a hybrid closer. So here's what I will do. AI sales setters, here's the thing. It's just monthly maintenance. You can get it as low as $1,000 per month, monthly maintenance. And this is like usually after full ramp up, okay? After a couple of months of the data, the maintenance, the volume that it's doing. It's only about 1,000 per month with call usage and everything. In fact, that's usually less base than one human setter, right? Usually human setters, I'll compensate them for 1,000 to 1,500. I have some sales teams right now, and it's like, that's usually what you're paying out the setter. It's 1,000 to 1,500 for the base. It's less than the human setter. And guess what? You don't got to pay commission. That's the best part. The AI sales rep is not coming to your Zoom room and be like, I need more commission, sir. It's like, no. You don't pay it any commission. It's an AI. All right. Lead closer. Usually, if they're bringing out, let's say 80,000 in cash collected, you give them 10%. Industry average, it's 8,000. A hybrid closer, let's say you pay them 1,000 base and then 15%. You give them a little bit more because they're like booking their calls, right? So you pay them usually 4,000. All that 13,000 before paid ads, right? So it's literally a third, close to a third of what you would pay out a traditional sales model. And then with paid ads, let's say same spend, 10,000, 23,000 is what you're gonna actually like pay out. Here's the new additional cash each month with the more efficient AI hybrid sales model, close to 20K per month that you're putting back in your pocket. 20K. How much is that per year that you just found? 234,000 per year. This is like you going to your couch in your living room and finding $234,000 that you've been sitting on. All right? $234,000 literally underneath you that you can acquire each month. So you can either use that to pay yourself more, right? Finally get a business owner who's paying themselves a nice salary. You can reinvest that back into business for more calls, more volume, more ads so that we can continue this positive virtuous cycle. And most importantly, less humans, less human error, right? Less humans, less error. Because AI, believe it or not, is actually more consistent than a human because it's programmed, right? It's code. So, guys, that is the opportunity here. Okay. I don't know anyone who, if they don't see this math, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't see the value, right? Like, you show this to anyone, they'll start to understand why this is actually so powerful. This starts to compound, right? This starts to compound. So I want to actually go in through this, guys. How do we then solve this issue? But before we go into this, is this making sense? Drop it makes sense in the chat. I want to make sure that the math is not going over people's head. Because again, I was bad at math. I thought I used to be good at math, right? But this math makes sense to me, right? Trixina says makes sense, right? Who else does this make sense for? Michael says makes sense. Love it. Love it. Okay, let's keep going. So, all right, enough theory. Let's talk about why you guys came through here, right? How do we solve this issue? How do we actually solve this? So there's 3 key levers you can pull on to scale your sales machine. You can scale with talent, systems, or culture, okay? Talent, systems, or culture. So talent, you can install a digital sales rep that is cloned from a 7-figure sales rep, right? You install an AI sales agent that is cloned from a 7-figure sales rep. That is the number one way that I found. Guess who that 7-figure sales rep is? Me. I'm going to show you guys again how to install and clone the sales operating system, the sales chip inside of your business. Number 2, you duplicate the 7-figure AI sales system that's already proven to work. So I'm going to show you guys here at the end how I'm actually just installing, literally taking this engine from this, Lamborghini, right? And think of it as almost like a Tesla, an electric Lamborghini. How do we take this super engine and install it from my car inside of your car? Okay, how do we duplicate that inside of your business? And then number 3, culture. You program the tone, the values, beliefs, and traits that are already aligned with your company from the beginning. Because the truth is, I used to spend countless hours trying to get this right when building sales teams. And oftentimes, when one was going well, the other would break. So that's why it's very difficult to build a 7-figure sales team, because one would go well. Hey, you hire the good reps, but then your systems start breaking. Okay, cool. You guys raise in income and revenue, but your culture is starting to fall apart. So you have to get a lot of things right all at the same time to make sure that your machine is firing in all cylinders. And to be honest, I don't know if everyone here has the money, the time, and the resources to even just go through that process. It took me years, y'all. It took me years being the setter, the closer, the sales manager, to a business owner. It took years for me to learn these lessons, and it was expensive. It was a lot of time, and it was exhausting. It was stressful. I burned out actually 2 to 3 times trying to figure this all out over the past several years. But things changed when I realized one game-changing idea. AI solves for all these 3 levers from the very beginning. AI solves for all these 3 levers from the very beginning. If you install a 7-figure digital sales rep from the beginning, you solve your talent issue. If you duplicate a 7-figure AI sales system from the beginning, you solve your systems issue. If you actually program your culture into this system and this talent with this operating system, you've solved your culture issue, right? Because AI doesn't rebel and be like, oh my God, your company culture is to be ethical and make sure that you help people with the best of your ability. No, you program that and it does it. It doesn't like, you don't go to ChatGPT and be like, you are now a very hardworking and attention detailed robot. And then it says, no, I'm not going to do that. Right? It literally just programs it. So that being said, when we can solve for all these 3 levers, all the unlocks, all the constraints, all the cash, the leads, the show rate, all the issues that most sales teams face, it unlocks. So that is why AI, in my firm belief, is becoming the single best solution to this problem in 2025, right? Because it solves all the biggest bottlenecks through its ability to outperform humans for 1/10 of the cost. Okay? Because with the old model, again, here's the math. Here's what it looks like with the new model. What used to take 10 hours per day can take 10 hours per week. What used to take 20 hours per day can now take 20 hours per week. Because here is the fundamental thing that everyone in this chat, in the Zoom room, needs to understand, which is the AI that you think you understand is not actually the AI that is going to evolve here shortly and is already happening. So, guys, Who here has used Chat GPT? Drop a me in the chat. Chat GPT or any sort of like AI, like Mid-Journey to generate photos. Like, yep, Augustine all day long. Dennis, yep. Sharon, Caduce, yep, me. Yep, Antonio, me. So here is a perspective I invite everyone here to consider. You don't have to accept it, but you need to consider. All right. The AI that we've been using in 2023, 2024 is actually just software. All right. It's just a more glorified piece of software. It's just evolved. And that's what 90% of people are using or familiar with. And that's okay. Right. But here's the thing. And I'm going to define what I mean by this. Okay. Because think of this as like you're texting someone, right? When you give a text, you get a text back, right? At least if you don't get ghosted. Hopefully, none of my people here are getting ghosted. You might be getting ghosted. I don't know whether it's on Tinder or Hinge or your prospects. I don't know if you guys are getting ghosted. All right. But let's pretend that they respond back. Lewis is not a shot. Yeah. Lewis is a savage. So that's why he's always getting responded to. So when you give a text to ChatGPT, that's your input, and you always get a text back. That's your output, right? But it requires you to be there. It requires you to actually put in an input in order to work to get an output. So it's like you and the computer. So you put something in, it feeds something back. So here's the issue with that. It follows a fixed amount of rules. It only runs specific tasks that you give it. It has limited decision making, and it's only really good for like repetitive work, right? So think of it as like within this box, that's all I can operate within. So that's fine. That's how software is. Again, the highest form of leverage is code. But here's why AI sales reps and AI agents are actually different from software and what you've been using. AI agents are digital workers. We have to fundamentally treat them differently and we have to view them differently so we can actually tap into the power of the pure potential here. AI agents are digital workers, actual digital employees inside of your team. So what am I doing? Instead of hiring, let's say, a team of like 10 people, what I'm doing is I'm actually, I have a small lean team of 3 people. And instead of, let's say, hiring, an executive assistant, I just create an AI agent that is an assistant. It actually replaces that person and is actually a digital person within my team. Because just like a human, just like a person, these AI agents, they learn and think on their own. They handle complex tasks. This is the key thing. They self-improve over time, meaning the more and more data they get, the smarter and smarter they become. They make intelligent decisions with or without you, and they can work without you being at your desk on autopilot 24/7. AI agents are the next evolution of software. If software was simply a tool, AI agents is the digital worker that knows how to use the tool. If this sounds like something that you might be wanting to learn to use today, drop a 1 in the chat. Let me see who's like trying to actually learn how to develop this, right? Dennis 1. Yep. Will's 1. Eamon's 1. Lewis is 1. Trixina's 1. Yep. Michael Rosenberg. Yep. Augustine. This is a game changer, bro. Antonio. Yep. 1. Because when we can fundamentally change our mindset and our paradigm to, I'm not here to have an AI sales tool to automate my task and like use AI. I'm here to actually create AI sales reps as my sales team. Like I'm literally recreating myself. I'm creating clones of Larry Antaporta inside of my sales teams, inside of my clients' teams, inside of other sales reps who want to have me as like their co-pilot, right? This is why this is the biggest opportunity of 2025, y'all. Because this is what is happening. 2023 was the no code era. So it's like purely SaaS. Like we saw this huge boom in Silicon Valley from like 2010s to 2020s. It was all SaaS, right? 2024 took SaaS and created a new layer, which was like, all right, cool. Let's create AI tools that combine SaaS, that create AI tools, and let's combine the best of both worlds. But still, it's within the confines of software. 2025 is the next evolution, the AI agents era, where fundamentally We are now taking the tools, taking the digital workers, teaching the AI workers to use the tools, press a button, it works with or without me, right? So going back to this world of leverage, we are now at the highest form of leverage of mankind with AI agents. We're creating the new rules of the ball game. So if you guys are with me, if you guys are with me wanting to be part of this AI revolution, this new era of AI agents, just drop it with me in the chat. I want to see who's with me, right? Who's gonna roll with your guy here, right? Who's gonna see? Yeah, right. Dennis, AI. Yep. Drop it with me or AI. Yep, with me. All right, cool. I got some cool people with me. I like that. All right. I like that. Appreciate that, guys. So that being said, let's talk about like what the top companies are thinking, because I come from Silicon Valley. Like that was my story. Was I actually started in tech sales, right? I sold for companies like Salesforce, MindBody. I was working with them during the big SaaS boom, right? The big SaaS boom. And for anyone who doesn't know what happened in Silicon Valley with SaaS, right? You're living under a rock, but if you don't know what's happened, is that's where literally trillions of dollars were created. You might have friends and colleagues and family who work in tech. That whole boom started because of what? SaaS, software as a service. So now we're literally in the precipice. We're in the beginning of a new boom, which is AI. Specifically for us, we're going to learn about AI agents because that's what's the forefront here. So if anyone doesn't know who Y Combinator is, Y Combinator is like literally the I would say the birthright of all these top companies that you know. So things like Dropbox, Airbnb, Reddit, right? DoorDash. This is the incubator that is responsible for all the biggest SaaS companies. Well, guess what? Guess what they're saying about the next biggest opportunity? AI agents. In this video, I highly recommend everyone watch this video if you haven't already. It's a newer video. Jared, one of the managing partners at Y Combinator, says that AI agents will be 10 times bigger than SaaS. 10 times bigger. Like my mind cannot even fathom how big this thing is going to be. Because if SaaS was huge, we saw more than a decade of how big, guys, I work for Salesforce, okay? Let's see how big of a company Salesforce is. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Wikipedia. Anyone have a guess how big this is? Okay. So in 2023 alone, they made 31.3 billion, right? Augustine was close, man. 35 billion in 2024. That's one company in tech. Okay. So when we're talking about 10 times bigger, my mind cannot even fathom how big this space is going to be. And that's why people are not treating this correctly. I've only recently, like the past year, truly understand how big this opportunity is. Yeah, Augustine's like, I just need 1B, bro. I just need 1 billion. I don't need to be greedy, right? So if we're looking at this bad boy, right? If we're looking at tech, I'm going to do some drawing for us. Okay. If tech was this big, right? And you got one sliver of this small pie, right? One small sliver, and AI is going to be 10 times bigger than that. Imagine what a small, insignificant sliver of this pie is going to be. A small sliver. This is SaaS. Okay. This is AI agents. This is the opportunity we're talking about here today. All right. So I'm going to show you guys why we want to be working on actually building that up, why we actually want to be in like a small 0.001% of this pie. Because it's not just, it's not just Y Combinator. Klarna is literally replacing 700 employees with AI bots. Salesforce, I don't know if you guys saw this headline. Salesforce will hire no more software engineers in 2025. You know why? Salesforce will not be hiring any more software engineers in 2025 amid significant productivity boost from AI. So because of AI, what they saw in 2024, they're not going to hire any more software engineers. So the question is, are you going to be replaced by AI? No. You're going to be replaced by people who use AI. We've heard that line probably. Okay. So the question for you is, are you going to be the Karens sitting on the sidelines waiting for John from across the road over in who was an entry-level sales rep, right? Replace you because he knows how to use AI. So you can either be Karen getting replaced by the person who knows how to AI, or you can be the person who actually learns how to use this to their full advantage and literally wipes face from all their competition. If you want to be the top 1%, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1. If you want to be that one, right? Right? Be that one. Okay? Be that one. Yeah, Trixina wants to be that one. Michael wants to be a one. Antonio wants to be that one. All right, Dennis wants to be that one. Augustine, amen. Okay? Because again, before I actually show you guys the actual blueprint, I want to realign with what happened. Who took advantage of the paid ads and social media boom of 2015? Well, it was Alex Hormozy, it was Alex Becker, Sam Ovens. They understood how to run Facebook ads. They understood the power of client acquisition through social media. You now have the opportunity to understand the power of AI and how to tap into it and client acquisition through this right here, right? As long as you guys stick with me, all right? And what makes this so powerful? Because here's what I found. To successfully build an AI sales rep that actually outperforms 3 human setters, it's not an easy job. You need to spend hundreds of hours learning how to build your own AI sales agent, right? I've probably clocked in over 200 hours just like learning about AI and all these sales agents. It takes time, guys. And if you don't want to do that, the easy way is you just hire a developer. But here's the issue. If you look at developers through like Upwork or freelancer.com or even just through networks, the problem is they don't understand your industry, your offer, and the nuances of your business as well as you do, right? So you're hoping, you're praying, you're rolling the dice, hoping they understand your industry enough to make the offer work, right? And even if you get past all that, you still have to spend hours testing the AI to see if it works. And most importantly, work without losing the human touch or the human element required of sales. Because what I'm not promoting here is that we lose the most important piece of sales, which is connection, right? So how can we get our AI sales agents to be as human as possible? Sometimes being more human than some of my robotic sales reps. Like I've had some sales reps who are very robotic. Okay. Very robotic. And the key here is I want to make sure that we don't lose that human touch. All right. So I've tested it to make sure that it actually sounds like a human. That most importantly, it personalizes it with the right tone, the personality, and is catered to your offer, right? Number 4, you have to have a strong enough sales acumen and years of experience to understand how to specialize that AI for sales. And last but not least, if you don't have that years of experience, you also need to make sure that you have the right sales systems in place for the AI sales reps to yield effective results. So here's the truth, y'all. It's challenging to get all these things right. And that's why when I looked at all the tools back in 2023 and 2024, a lot of these AI sales tools were, excuse my friends, but they were dog shit. They were not good, right? So I remember that, I don't know if anyone has seen like Air.ai. Is anyone familiar with Air.ai? And I don't want to, I don't want to talk negatively about them, but I just want to share my experience, right? So back in 2024, early 2024, I heard Air.ai for the first time, and I'm going to be completely honest, I was unimpressed. I was very unimpressed. And hey, who knows? Maybe they've improved. But I will tell you right now that one moment, I pretty much kind of like was like, AI sales reps, I would never. I don't even think you could replace a human sales rep. This was my mindset. I was like, it's not that good. I don't even think we could replace humans. The technology is crap. I don't know if it will ever get to the point where it actually be good. That was my mindset in the beginning of 2024. So I kind of just like was like kind of threw it past me. It's like, all right, nah, I think I think it's a fad. I think it's a gimmick. I don't know if it'll actually work. But then after Q1, I was like, you know what? I see AI disrupting every other space. I see it disrupting generative photos. I see it disrupting marketing. I see it disrupting client success. Why can't it disrupt sales? So at the end of the day, what I realized was, why don't I just do it myself? Why don't I just do it myself? Because here's what I realized, which is when I finally cracked the code and saw the sales matrix for the first time, everything started to click. I'm going to show you guys what I mean by this, which is my biggest aha moment was a seven-figure AI sales rep needs to be programmed by a seven-figure sales mind, not an engineer, not a developer, not some Joe Schmo who has an idea and wants to figure out AI within sales. It has to be done by someone who's actually knows what the hell they're talking about with sales. Because how an AI can actually work and how well it will work depends solely on the mind behind it. Exactly. Augustine's like 100% true. Let's build one for the financial advisory industry, bro. Right. Because you need to know if I'm taking my sales mind, that's the sales chip, and I install into an AI, it's only as good as the mind that you programmed it with. So when I looked at literally 99% of the sales AI tools out there, I realized why it wasn't good. It was developers making it. It was engineers making it. And guys, these devs, these engineers are smarter and more technical than I will ever be. I will give them kudos to that. In fact, I have a developer team with me. But that's the thing. It's like Augustine said, most tech engineers don't know diddly squat about sales. And I don't expect them to. But this is the mismatch in the market. You have these really smart devs and all these great, like, all right, let's build these tools. But then their sales skill set doesn't match the level it needs to be. So what did I do? I took my sales mind that's closed over 5.4 million in sales and built multiple seven-figure sales teams. I found really smart developers who know this tech better than I do, combined it, and guess what? You have Sales Samurai. That's what I've developed. Okay. So the thing that I got you to think about is it's kind of like the movie The Matrix. Okay. Anyone know The Matrix? Anyone watch The Matrix? Right? Drop a yes in the chat if you've watched The Matrix. Yep, Caduceus watched The Matrix. Yep, Luis. Ganesh. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So there's a lot of great scenes in The Matrix. There's like the moment he sees The Matrix for the first time, he's like, dodging the bullets. There's like also the other one where he's actually like goes out and takes red pill, blue pill, right? You want to know what my favorite scene in The Matrix is? I'm going to share it with you right now. It's the I know Kung Fu scene. I know Kung Fu. Drop a one in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. One, the I know Kung Fu, right? Like Neo is like, he's like ready, man. He's like, he gets what happens for anyone who doesn't see it. Spoiler alert. And hey, if you haven't watched The Matrix at the time, I guess it's not really a spoiler, but what happens? Well, Neo needs to learn Kung Fu in record lightning speed because he's got to get ready to fight Mr. Smith, right? So his issue is like he does not know Kung Fu and he doesn't have the time to do it. So what does his crew do? Well, they take this chip, they put it into a machine, and within minutes, not years, minutes, he literally knows Kung Fu. He has like the level of a black belt, right? And he looks at Morpheus and he goes, I know Kung Fu. He took 10 years of time and to 10 minutes. So this is what I've created. I've created the sales chip, the I know Kung Fu moment in sales. And it is only possible now because of AI technology. So instead of taking the 10 years that I took, the almost decade of sales experience, the black belt in sales, what if we could take that 10 years and compile it into less than 30 days for your business? Less than 30 days. Less than 30 days. What if you can get a black belt in sales, have a seven-figure AI sales rep in your business with one sales chip? I know it's a bold claim, y'all. I know it literally sounds like fantasy, but this is what I'm doing for my clients. This is what I'm doing for my business. It clicked. So I've worked months with these devs to literally work hand in hand with them to duplicate, to clone my mind into our AI sales rep so that it can literally be installed in anybody's businesses. and customized to whatever you're doing, right? That's the power. So with that being said, I want to show you guys what this is. I'm going to skip a little bit of this math for you here in a second, but I actually want to show you the actual process, and then we're going to go back to the math. Okay. So who wants to see the blueprint? Who wants to see the blueprint? Let me stop sharing for a quick second because I want to make sure I'm syncing with everyone. Who wants to see the blueprint? Drop blueprint in the chat if you want to see the blueprint. Okay. And I promise we'll end here soon. We'll end here soon. Okay. All right. Okay. We doing it. We doing it. All right. Okay. We got it. We got it. So let's go on to this. All right. Here's what's happening. So there's a couple of use cases that we want to be thinking about for this blueprint. The 100,000 month AI sales rep unique case study. Okay. And again, shout out to my dev team for this beautiful blueprint. They mainly were the ones working on this. They're the smart guys behind this whole blueprint. I'm just, again, giving the sales mind behind it, right? They're the ones actually creating these things. So what are the 5 use cases for AI sales reps? Not theory, but things that are actually being done right now. Okay. What are the things that are happening right now? So number 1, reaches out to leads faster than humans. So speed to lead is programmed to be 1 minute or less. So for anyone out here who's a sales rep, we all know that when a new lead comes into an actual opt-in or a new call is booked, sometimes we're on lunch, sometimes we're, it's the weekend, sometimes we're actually on a call, so we can't always get to them right away, right? Why AI is so powerful is because it can reach out to these leads faster than humans at lightning speed. We literally program it to be a minute or less. In fact, if you guys want to try out this AI funnel, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to like opt into this and see it live in the flesh. But this is the power of it. Okay. Number 2, it books more qualified sales calls with text and voice AI. So it does actually inbound and outbound calling. All right. Inbound and outbound. Yeah, Augustine says, used to be first 5 minutes, now it's 1 minute or less. Dang TikTok, right? Shorter attention spans. But that's the power, is because when we actually look at this, right? Let's look at the blueprint right now. We have different levels of the funnel, right? So we have, of course, the traffic, right? So whether it's YouTube, school, Instagram, paid ads, LinkedIn, Facebook, webinars, more partnerships, newsletters, you capture a lead. So what usually happens? Well, usually when you capture a lead, a human sales rep comes in and it calls it. Okay. Well, here's the thing. With our AI system, our speed to lead is, again, less than 5 minutes. We can program it to a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you want. The average human sales rep, even the best, they take them 47 minutes. Even when you have like a sales team, like waiting for an opt-in, on average across the board, it's about 47 minutes. So you're literally doing it in a tenth of the time with this, right? Booking more qualified sales calls. So we engineer both text-based and voice AI-based. So we can literally have an AI call your prospects, and people don't know that it's AI. They're literally having a full-on conversation with a human-sounding AI sales rep. In fact, I remember I used to train this one sales rep on one of my teams, and he's actually a savage sales setter now. But when he first started, he was like very robotic and monotone, very robotic and monotone. And I had to work with him for like about a month and a half just to get him right. And I was like, man, this guy's a hustler, but he needs to work on his tonality, his voice, all these things. And I realized, well, hey, I don't need to work on that stuff anymore. I don't need to spend 30, 60 days working on a sales rep tonality. I can just program an AI sales rep from the beginning to have good tonality, to have good actual posturing. I can program all that. So as a sales manager and as a business owner, that saves me so much more time, right? So booking more qualified calls. We're getting, to give you guys a little insight here, anywhere from 5 to 10 calls per day for some of our clients here. Okay. 5 to 10 calls per day. Okay. So this is the power through all AI sales reps, right? They're actually able to pre-qualify leads because we can engineer what type of questions they're actually able to ask. We can have it outbound the lead list. Like, again, you could do 100 calls in an hour if you wanted to, right? Number three, it can increase show rate to as high as 80 to 90% because it actually rebooks no shows and reschedules. Guys, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest issues with my sales teams is they get lazy. All right. And that's okay. They get lazy. They get no shows. They get reschedules. They forget about their pipeline because there's a lot of leads or calls coming in. So people naturally get lazy. All right. Guess what? AI doesn't get lazy because we program it. So how many more sales calls can you get on the calendar? How many more deals can you close if you actually just increased the number of bookings you had because you had someone, an AI, calling your no-shows, calling your reschedules, calling people who like didn't reply 30 days ago? Can we see the power of this? Can you guys drop a me in the chat if you're starting to see the power of what an AI sales rep can do here? Let's see. Yep. Caduceus me. Yep. Right. Augustine. Yep. Sam, Trixina. Absolutely. Because when we can actually start to increase our no-shows, when we can make sure our leads aren't actually leaking, when we can make sure we're actually responding to them in a minute time, and most importantly, they just don't burn out and you have consistency, all of these things start to compound, right? All of these things start to compound because one of the things that we know and what we actually do is we make sure to actually just reactivate all our old nurture leads, right? We literally have, let's say you have 1,000 leads in your list and you want to reactivate, like, let's say 300 of those, you can literally run reactivation campaigns, not just through text, but get this, don't miss this. You can run reactivation campaigns through phone calls. And what we've seen is the response rate is 2 to 3 times better with phone calls and text. Most of the time, people were just limited through go high level. Let's just do a text blast reactivation. Let's do an email blast reactivation, right? Well, guess what? There's a new layer that I'm implementing with people, which is voice AI reactivation. They actually talk to your old leads. They say, hey, they look at the CRM because it's programmed. I saw that you talked with Josh 3 months ago, and your biggest issue was that you were waiting on funds to like move forward. Larry just wanted me to reach out, see how everything is going. What's happened since we last spoke? How more powerful is a conversation with someone on the phone with an AI than is it going to be like just an email text blast that most people know is what? Automated, right? So it literally, the AI literally takes from the CRM all the notes the closer actually had, and in real time, it realigns the prospect with what they talked about. The AI does. And believe it or not, that's better than most people are going to actually do. Most of my sales reps, I got to train them to like bring back their pains and their goals from the old call. Guess what? AI just does it automatically because that's what we program. It's connected to the CRM. It feeds that data to the AI, and the AI conducts the call. Right? And then last but not least, automates admin and repetitive tasks so that you and your team gets hours of your time back each week. All right? Get back hours of your time back. All right? And this is what we talked about. I think Ben said it earlier. Burnout prevention. This is probably one of the most important things. Because if we can get back 5, 10, 15, 20 hours of our week back, and we can prevent burnout, how much easier are you going to be able to hit your goals? Right. Augustine says, I'm in burnout phase right now, man. I have burnt out twice in my career, and they were not fun. I'd be out for months, y'all. As a sales rep, it's exhausting, it's repetitive, it's mentally straining. Well, guess what? We're solving that issue with AI sales reps. AI is not going to go back to me and be like, hey, man, I need a vacation. Hey, man, I need a 2-hour break. Hey, man, my cat is sick, so I got to take him to the veterinarian, right? AI doesn't have these excuses. It works 24/7 on autopilot with or without you. Exactly. Dennis says, as a sales rep, you can implement this and just focus on closing deals live and save you 2 to 3 hours per day. Exactly. Dennis gets it, y'all. Have the AI rebook, reschedule, do all those things while you just focus on your live calls, closing deals. Imagine how much more commission you're doing. Lewis says, hey man, I need to see Dom Dalla tonight. Exactly. While you're going out, Luis is going to see Dom Dalla, right? He's raging face in the front row. His AI is booking calls from. Now it sounds funny. It sounds like Fantasyland, but this is really what it is, right? Because when we get these things right, we get the lead response, lead leakage, no show, follow up, burnout. You save, for most people, they can save, again, like I showed you in the math. You can talk about 100,000 to $250,000 a year talking about this stuff, right? And what's cool is we can track everything. We can figure out the call outcome, the lead feedback, the call costs, number of calls made, right? Where are they actually in the database? And we can create all these different scenarios. If they don't pick up, here's what happens. If they do pick up, if they're not interested, all this stuff, updating the CRM, right? All the things that a human would actually do, the AI does all of this, okay? The AI does all of this. So that is a slight look at the blueprint. If you guys want a more in-depth blueprint, I can actually walk you guys through the entire process on another time. Fortunately, because we are, it's going a lot longer than I wanted to. I'm going to save that for anyone who does book a call. I'll walk you through that, right? But guys, does this all sound good? All sound great, right? Does all make sense? Drop a yes in the chat if it all sounds good. Okay. Yep. Augustine says yes. Caduce. Yep. Because why am I showing this for all of you guys? When we actually implement it, here's the math that actually happens. Well, we're going to get cost per book call, which with paid ads usually be, if you're, on average, maybe $150, $300 per book call. Some people go as high as 500. If you're really lucky, you'll get cost per book call for like 150, 100. We're getting cost per book call down to less than like $50 for some of these campaigns. Less than $50. Why? Because we're not involving a human setter. We're actually maximizing our whole lead list, right? So I'm going to invite you to think, with human sales reps, you're maybe only maximizing 30 to 50% at best your ad spend. With AI, we can get that up to 80 to 100%, right? And in fact, when fully ramped up with enough data and enough time, we will get sales reps to about 3x a human sales rep. So it can outperform 3 human sales reps. You can replace 3 SDRs with 1 AI setter, right? And I'm not saying here to replace human closers yet. We're not quite there yet with that technology. We might be able to get there eventually. And my hypothesis is we might eventually get to a certain extent. But my firm belief is, to any point, humans will always need to be closed by other humans for the pure fact of human emotion and connection. So we'll probably get to the point where we can get 80 to 90% of the way there. But I don't know if we're going to get there at 100. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe at the maybe 20 years from now, 10 years from now, our AI agents are just closing each other. So maybe like Ganesh creates like a Ganesh AI, and then I create my Larry AI. And instead of us hopping on the Zoom calls, they're actually just like talking with each other. And because they're programmers or decision making, they're just AIs closing other AI. Who knows? Maybe that's where the future lies. But that's not the masterclass today, right? I wanted to show you the math, because human sales performance, let's say on a monthly ad spend, usually when you do this, you look at 20% closing rate, 40 calls booked, cost per call is 250. You're going to bring about 8 new clients that month at a $5K price point. That's about $40K in cash. Okay. Your lifetime gross profit to cost of acquisition ratio is about 3.2. Right. For anyone who doesn't know the math there, it's your lifetime value of that customer divided by the ratio of the cost to acquire that customer. Right. So here's what happens when we actually leverage an AI sales rep. Okay. Same variables. 100 or 10,000 monthly ad spend. We can get the cost per call to as low as, like, let's say conservatively $80. With the same spend, we'll get 125 calls on your calendar. Same close rate, 20%. Guess what? That's 25 clients in that month. So we 3x the clientele. The cost per acquisition reduces. All of their variables the same, will lead to 125,000 in cash collected. So we just went from a almost $500,000 a year business to $1 million a year business with one key thing: AI sales reps. Now, I know the math looks crazy, and at the end of the day, it's just spreadsheet math, but let me actually show you, right? So we talked about why leveraging AI sales reps is the single best move, this new model, and how the biggest tech companies are thinking about the future of AI agents. Now, let me actually show you what is actually possible, what's actually happening. So these are some recent client results just from this past month. All right. This is a real estate wholesaling coaching business. You've only been in here for about a little over 45 days. Look at this. Cash collected. Not talking gross. Cash collected. 108K cash collected with 10 selling days in. 10 more to go. So at the halfway point, guys, this sales team and my client doubled their sales from their previous averages. Okay. Another one, 7 closings in 1 hour. This is probably a record for me. There were 7 deals closed in 1 hour. The sales team went gangbusters. I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. This was a Friday, mind you. So they like locked in. Yep, that's RJ Bates. Exactly. 7 closings in 1 hour. Right? If anyone doesn't know, RJ is a legend in the wholesaling space. He's one of my newer clients, right? Here's my boy Oliver. I don't know if my boy Oliver is still in here. But Oliver, when he started off with us, was averaging about 15 to 20K per month cash collected. He sent me this text last week. 90-day cash with book sales on top of it, they crossed 100K cash collected. Okay. When we first started working together, we went from, it was like averaging 15 to 20K. Oliver was stuck in the sales process. Now he has a sales machine that closes deals for him. Okay. He got a record month, his first 100K cash collected month. Right. And as we said, job's not finished because it's not even the end of the month. We still have 8 days here in January. So this is just from this month alone. Okay. It's just from this month alone. So I want to show you guys, if you guys want, where to go from here, right? Where can we go from here? Is this either you're going to implement it yourself, either you're going to, get some insights from me. Where do we go from here, right? Because let me ask you guys, was your time worthwhile in today's masterclass? Drop a yes in the chat if it was. Drop a yes in the chat if it was. I want to hear from you guys. All right. All right. Caduce, yes. Dennis, Deuce, Trixina, yes. Lewis says yes. My affiliate for you, sir. Yep. Let's definitely talk, Luis. Sam, yes. Will says yes. Right. Did you guys gain some new insights? Does the hybrid model make sense? Do you see now why every B2B business owner is actually running AI, right? So you guys are smart people. This all makes sense, right? And most importantly, we understand the true opportunity here. Whether you guys install AI agents or not today, the seed I just wanted to plant with you guys is be part of this big pie, right? This big pie that is AI. Wow, that rhymes. Be the pie part of the AI. I like that, okay? Put a t-shirt on that. So where do we go from here? Here's what you need to build a powerful AI sales rep in your sales team. Because in order to build an AI sales rep that can actually perform better than 3 full-time appointment setters, you need 3 things. You need a team of AI developers to actually build the AI sales reps and place it in your sales team, right? You need a large information about your business. So we need data. We need a knowledge base to consistently feed that AI with large information about your offer, your target demographic, and their pain point and desires, right? And you need a high level of knowledge in sales and AI. Because without that, solid sales experience will essentially build an AI that can only do admin tasks, not actually generate new businesses. So to map this out, you need the devs, okay, to actually build the AI. You need the knowledge base. So you need to understand how to actually create the data for this AI to be customized and tailored to your business. And then most importantly, you need an AI consultant to help you connect all those 3 things together. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay. Well, I have an opportunity for you guys, right? Because whether or not you guys end up working with me, or you just want to learn how to implement this yourself, or whether you just want to recommend this to your team and I'll comp you guys for a finder's fee for an introduction, like we were talking about with Luis, there's multiple ways that we can actually help you guys tap into this AI revolution and AI opportunity. You don't even have to own a business, okay? So with that being said, guys, do I have your permission to invite you to an opportunity, right? Drop a yes in the chat if that's cool with you guys, because I don't want to move forward if I'm going to try to hard sell you guys on anything. Anything here is just an invitation, okay? Trixina says yes. Sam says yes. Michael says yes. Ganesh says yes. Kadu says yes. Augustine says yes. All right, cool. So thank you guys for your permission. I don't take that lightly, right? And if for anyone here, and I'm going to say this, if you guys don't want that opportunity or you don't want to learn more about the offer, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to leave now. We'll catch you the replay. You can catch it on your own time. But for anyone who does choose to stay, who does want to take a small slice of this huge multi-trillion dollar opportunity, then stick around for the next 5 to 10 minutes because I'm going to show you guys how you might be able to work with me. There's multiple ways. Okay. So first and foremost, let's break it down. Let's break down the costs. Let's break down the routes, because again, you need highly specialized knowledge in two things. You need not just in AI, but also in sales. And I would also include business in there as well. All right. So route one, you can do it yourself. $0. All right. $0. Here's the thing. The overall performance of the AI sales will always be as good as the person creator behind it. We talked about this. So if you have closed 7 figures in sales before, or you're a really good dev and you can partner with someone like that, or you're a really good business owner, then you could definitely probably take this route, right? You probably could see some success. What you will pay for is in time, right? So you're going to have to probably spend at least 6 to 12 months. At least it took me at least 6 months to understand the fundamentals. You could probably figure it out in 2 to 3 months if you're really smart, right? So you can try to figure it out on your own. I have a blueprint to do that. If you guys want to do that, you just got to reach out to me. Number two, if you want to invest in some sort of like coaching program or AI coaching program, that can be anywhere from like 3,000, 5,000 to the smaller end to like there's masterminds like 30 to 50,000, right? So that's not including the time and energy spent acquiring the knowledge from these programs, because I've invested in AI coaching programs to help me understand this space a lot more. That's usually going to be a 5-figure investment because they guard a lot of these secrets. Okay. It's good if you have the funds, right? But you need, again, the money here. Or number three, you can hire an AI sales consultant. Some people, they charge by the hour. Some people, they charge literally just for like, let's say a limited scope of work for 30 days. It's going to be custom. It's going to be case by case, right? Some people can do that. There's a lot of great AI consultants out there. If you guys want to learn from other people, I can give an introduction recommendations to some of those people if you want to learn from them and not me. Perfectly fine, right? That being said, let's look at the cost for an AI developing team, right? Because I've invested money in my own AI developers and it's not cheap. I'll tell you guys that much, right? You can hire a freelance developer. It's usually going to cost them about 40,000 on the cheap end. So I'm talking about this is a little bit more third world country. If you want like a US based or like English speaking, it's usually going to be a 6-figure investment for a year, right? And one person developers are actively involved in 10 other AI projects, making them disconnected from your business. This was the biggest issue that I often faced, was they were working on like other projects and I needed someone that I could actually just, again, create a specialized sales AI rep for, right? So I wanted something that was a little bit more intimate. This route didn't really work that great for me, to be honest. What you end up getting cheaply, the result is not as great as you want. You can also hire an agency to develop this. Most development agencies outsource AI build-outs to a third world country. This route can work if you really vet them out, but the question that I invite everyone here is: do you know what questions to ask these developers so that you can actually produce a great product? That's the issue. In the beginning, I didn't really know. I knew the sales questions to ask because I knew sales, but I didn't know like the technical and the AI related stuff. I was not that, I'm not a super techie person, to be honest, y'all. I just like innovation. I like tech. But when it comes to like building these things out, I'm not the greatest. I understand how to build it at a fundamental level to ask the questions, but I had to learn through trial and error. So there's that. And then number three, which I recommend, is probably the best option, is you build a in-house dev team. But again, that's the most costly option. It can be anywhere from 10, 15, even 20,000 per month, because an A-player dev team will cost 7 figures a year to maintain, right? And that's not including a CTO to manage the team and any of that stuff. So it can be expensive, right? So it'll bring you a pretty hefty price tag, right? For even just an AI developer with some sort of existing sales experience, it might be 48,000 a year. For a team of AI developers, it's gonna be 180,000 a year. So again, not including the cost to hire a sales consultant and a CTO. So can you guys see that that can be a pretty hefty price tag to develop yourself, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can start to see that. In fact, I didn't really see this when I first like did this. So I realized this in like month 2. I was like, damn, bro, these developers cost quite a price tag. It's not cheap, right? Yeah, Trixina says 1, Michael says 1, RJ says 1, Dennis says 1, Kadu says 1. Yeah. So that being said, it's still more profitable than 3 full-time setters required to hit 100K per month, right? Because if I'm paying let's say a base of 1,500 or 1,000 per setter. So if I have a team of 3 setters at 1,000 base a month, right? Not even including commissions, it's still going to be a 6-figure price tag. So that's not even including the setter payouts that we talked about. So the question that I have for you is, what if you can install an AI sales rep that's closed millions in sales in your business for 1/10 of the cost to hire a human 7-figure sales rep, right? Again, the sales chip, sales matrix moment. Well, you have that opportunity now. So here's my invitation for people here, right? Whether you're a business owner or a sales rep, or you're just looking to become an AI sales consultant, there's multiple ways that we can work together. But here's the thing. Allow me, with your permission, to be your right-hand man throughout this AI revolution. So I'm offering this to 5 people in this masterclass right now. First 5 people. And if you're looking to either install this AI sales agent or learn how to do this for yourself, right, to build this 7-figure AI sales system in their business, you can work with me. I'm only taking 5 people right now because that's, to be honest, that's the only bandwidth I have. That's the literal only bandwidth. Here's the thing. With these build outs, I can only do a handful each month with my current dev team. So I can't produce like 20 build outs in 1 month right now. Now, eventually we're going to scale to get to that point, but this 5 people is my bandwidth and limitation to work with you guys in terms of building out, teaching people this stuff, and making sure that you have a fully functioning system. So for people in this masterclass, for anyone who stayed, right? We have over 20 plus people who stayed here right now. You get first come, first serve opportunity. Anyone who watches this replay, again, this is going to be out several weeks later. If this is gone by this time, I'm going to let you know. You're not going to be able to book an actual call with me, right? So this is the advantage for staying. I'm going to give you guys the call link here shortly, right? Because then you can actually get to the opportunity, the front of the line, and see if we can possibly work together. So phase 1, here's what the offer looks like, is I and my team actually build this AI sales rep and this dialer for you. So you don't even have to learn how to do this voice AI stuff, this AI sales rep stuff. I literally just build it out. So it's done for you, AI infrastructure build out. We build out all the trackers, the dashboards. We build out the reactivations, all the systems. You get on the first week a one-on-one offer and AI audit with me and my team. All right. And we're going to figure out exactly the customized AI blueprint, the game plan for you. So phase 1, we're actually going to build out and launch this AI sales rep within your business. Okay. Completely done for you. My team's going to do that in less than 30 days, right? Phase 2, systemize. So not only are you going to get the actual AI sales rep, we're actually going to build out for you my 7-figure AI sales system. So all these sales teams that I've built throughout the years, taking them from 6 to 7 figures, I'm going to literally clone that sales engine inside of the business that you're working with, okay? Build out the CRM, optimize the funnels, pre-selling, post-selling, follow-up, the actual selling systems and the training that I train our closers on and even the business owners on. I'm going to give you all that, right? So I'm going to give you my entire playbook on Notion as well, which is a 7-figure playbook inside of your business. We're going to build out all the things in Go High Level. If you're using Go High Level, whatever CRM you're building, right? We're going to build the funnels, the pre-sell and post-sell, the follow-up systems, the texts, the reminders, SOPs. All of that is included in the systemization phase, right? Okay. We're going to do that as well. Number 3, scale. So once the AI sales reps are actually built in place, then we'll actually do the proper scaling needed. So if we need to hire, quote unquote, closer on your team to actually take in this additional influx of calls, because let's say you go from, let's say, 20 to 60 sales calls in a month, you're going to probably need another hire, right? And that usually will be a closer. So I'll do the done for you placement on the closing team. I'll give you my playbook for sales management in case we need to actually start to up level our management skills. And then I actually also train the sales teams, do call reviews, give you guys actual one-on-one support with me on Slack or Discord or whatever, you're actually chatting on right now. All of that is going to be yours. And included with that, some bonuses. So I'll give you guys what I'm doing with school, our black belt training course, our workshop playbook. For anyone who doesn't know, who doesn't follow me on school, right? I have a school community that actually almost has 1,000 members. We launched this earlier last year. We're about 8 members away, actually 5 members away after I give these pending members. And we're going to actually show you, and we're going to give you my playbook on how we use that for top of funnel and middle of funnel. Okay. So that's the entire playbook there. And then what this customized AI sales rep can do is it can book inbound meetings, book outbound meetings, qualify your appointments, confirm, make sure prospects show up to calls, become your full stack SDR replaces the power of 3, right? We'll give you complete access to all these systems. So when you actually start leveraging AI, you're going to stop wasting time calling leads, stop wasting money on leads that get cold, stop wasting time and money on underperforming sales reps and team members. You don't need to hire another sales manager. You don't got to recruit, interview, and hire. You don't got to waste onboarding, ramping, training time. Most importantly, you don't have to waste energy on this emotional roller coaster that is a sales team, or energy on bad hires. And most importantly, stop losing money on the table, right? Let's redeem, let's recollect that $250,000 on your guys' couch that we were talking about, right? Let's redeem that. Let's put $250,000 back in your pocket when we leverage AI. So with that being said, guys, that is really the process here. We're going to build, we're going to systemize, we're going to scale this whole thing for you. Whether you're a sales rep that wants to install this into your business owner's business, or you're a business owner that wants to actually get this sales chip installed, that is the opportunity for you guys here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Q&A right now. But before and foremost, I'm going to open up my call counter right now. So if you guys want to create a customized roadmap with me, you can schedule an implementation call. And we're going to do a couple things on there, right? I'm going to actually show you guys the AI live in the flesh so you can actually get a demo and see how it all works, right? But most importantly, we can actually start to figure out a game plan on how you can tap into this AI opportunity. So whether it's you guys want to be one of my affiliates, whether you want to introduce this to your business owner, whether you want to get the actual sales system in your actual business, right? I'm opening up some time slots over the next week. Now, I have limited time slots right now. So it's only up until the end of next week. So Amon actually just dropped it. I just dropped it as well. That is the call link to book with me. We're going to get on a quick 45-minute call, and we're going to create a customized game plan. I don't know yet what the price or the offer is best for you. That's why my invitation is we actually book out a chat, and we're just going to figure that out together, right? We might find out that you need a more customized solution, and we craft something that's a little bit more personalized, and we can create something for you, and that'll be a custom price for you guys. Now, there is going to be an investment for anyone that does want to work on the completely done for you side, right? Like I said, it's a 4-figure investment. We're not doing anything crazy like 20K here, 15K here. It's nothing crazy like that. I could charge for that. A lot of these guys who are doing customized build outs, they're anywhere from like 15K, 11K, 30K. We're going to do it at a little bit more of a discounted rate for anyone who signs up through this masterclass. So it's only going to be a 4-figure investment if you want to do the complete done for you build out. Now, if you guys want to talk about just other opportunities, you would just want to jam, you want to get a little bit of like free consultation, coaching, we can talk about that as well. I will open up my time slots to help serve you guys. So that being said, I don't bite. Don't be scared to book out a call. I just dropped the link in the chat. So look at there right now if you actually want to book a time. Again, it's only limited to next week. So I'm not opening it up any more time slots. If you're watching the replay, well, we'll see if we can actually book out some time slots after the replay. But just for this time right now, this is limited to the people who are on the masterclass. This is limited to the people who registered, right? If you have registered and you're catching the replay after the fact because maybe you had a drop, right? Or you couldn't make the full masterclass, well, the time slots are still open to you, right? So you can still talk with me. You can still chat with me, right? And we can figure out a clear and confident game plan for you to tap into the AI revolution in 2025. So that being said, guys, that's really it. I'm going to open up some time for some Q&A. I might bring on some people for actually to talk with me, do some one-on-one coaching for anyone who stayed, right? I'll go on for several minutes here longer. But can we just get a value in the chat if you guys got value? I want to see who actually got value here today. Yep, Caduce. Yeah, my man. You got value. Glad to hear. Right? Dennis got value. Love it. Who else got value? Drop a value. Antonio got value. Cool. Cool. Love this. Love this. Yep. Luis got value. So again, guys, this is the actual link to book to anyone who wants to book. I have open my time slots now. So just click on the link. We'll get there. And let's open up some Q&A and coaching. So guys, go in the Q&A. Drop your questions in the chat. Augustine just booked. Love it, Augustine. We'll chat here soon. Love it. Drop some questions in the chat. I might even bring you here. We'll do some one-on-one coaching. Even if you just want to jam and like talk, dude. I'm game to talk and jam. Let's go. Let's go. All right, RJ. So let's have RJ. So RJ asked the question, What is the difference between this and Vappy.ai? RJ, great question. So Vappy is actually one of the voice AI platforms that we build on top of, right? So let me demonstrate this because AI is a little bit more complex than just like, going out and building on top of a platform. So, excuse me. So, Vappy is the actual AI voice builder. All right. And excuse my frog voice. I almost choked on my own spit. All right. So that's where we actually build our platform on top of. Now, there's a couple different voice platforms that you can use. You can use Vappy, you can use Synthflow, okay? You can use Bland AI, and there are some other platforms like I talked about. But these are the three that you can like actually just like focus on. In fact, there's an API with like OpenAI that they use for their voice. It's really good. So again, just think about it like this. Vappy is the foundation that you build the actual like voice AI on top of. But in order to build a skyscraper for your business, you need several different things. Okay. One is you need the AI system itself. So, for example, if your sales system is crap, if you don't have a way to capture leads, if you don't have funnels, you don't have opt ins, then it's just not going to work. So, you need an actual 7-figure AI sales system that integrates with the voice AI, right? Second, you need an actual AI integrator. So, you need someone who actually integrates all this within. Oftentimes, this can also be the dev, but you need someone who actually connects, like let's say Vappy, with all your other things like Go High Level, right? The knowledge base is another thing that you'll need. Okay. So Vappy is really great to create the voice AI agent, but you still need to actually give it instructions, tasks. You need to give it a sales mind or a second brain, a knowledge base to actually operate from. You need to have the proper prompt engineering, right? So when we're talking about AI sales agents, Vappy is just one of the many steps required for that. Okay. It's just one of the many steps required for that. So it's a fundamental step because this is actually the technology on which the voice AI is going to be used. But again, if you gave me, let's say, an 18-year-old who's in sales for the first time who has no sales experience, right? That's what Vappy's doing is you're creating someone who's like brand new and like clean slate. You need the actual trainer. You need the actual knowledge base. You need the SOPs. You need the system. You need all these things to feed that new 18-year-old sales rep to do its job properly, right? So Vappy is just that person that creates the voice AI. In order for a fully functioning AI agent, right? An AI agent can do a couple things. It can update admin. It can make voice calls, right? It can do voice. It can do text AI, right? It can do tasks. So Vappy was just a creator for this one piece of it, right? It can even communicate with the rest of the team. Okay. So RJ, I want to make sure that helped answer your question. Give me a yes if it helped, and if you have some other things for that. Yep, got it. Okay, cool. What are some other questions? Other questions. So yeah, and to close the loop on the Vappy thing, like Augustine said, Vappy is one of the better ones because it's all the other ones are pretty robotic, but it comes down to a couple key things, Augustine. So it comes down to obviously the prompt engineering because a lot of the engineering in the backend on Vappy is what helps us have a more human sounding sales rep. So for example, I cloned my own voice through 11 Labs and I had to feed it like hours of my like YouTube videos and my sales calls to sound as human as possible and to sound like me. Right. So guess what? It's only as good as the data and the knowledge you give it. Right. It's only as good as the knowledge you give it. Like, in fact, let me share this document with you guys right now. Okay. Share this document with you guys. In terms of like the AI sales rep alone, here's the 7-step process we did. We created a base voice AI, feeding it hours and hours of sales calls, again, like cloning my voice or using one of the ones on 11 Labs. We had to engineer the skeleton using an AI voice builder like Vappy or Synflow, right? We had to connect it to the knowledge base to customize to our business service or offer. We had to integrate that knowledge base to it. We had to test and deploy using our lead lists or SOPs. We had to get initial feedback and data during the testing phase. And then we had to fine tune and give it more data to optimize, right? So I'm going to drop those 7 steps in the chat for everyone here, right? So that's it. Sam says, can we replace a real sales rep? Yes, it can. Absolutely. We've already started to do it. Now, there's this key concept that I recommend to everyone is augment before you replace. So a lot of these sales teams aren't 100% replacing it with AI. In fact, you shouldn't, because there's going to be a testing period, there's going to be a ramp up period, and you actually want the AI to work hand in hand with your sales reps, right? So I actually train our sales rep to use the AI to book more calls, because it's not this antagonistic, oh my God, AI sales reps are going to replace me. It's like, no, like, again, it's all about who's going to replace you are people who know how to use AI. So, for example, my boy Colton set her on a team, teaching him how to use the AI sales rep so that he can actually 2 to 3x his productivity and efficiency, 2 to 3x his book calls, 2x his like show rate, right? 2 to 3x the amount of leads that he calls and contacts. Because it's like, all right, Colton's just going to use the no-show sequence with the AI sales rep. Now all the no-shows are going to him. And there's actually ways to do live transfers on the calls. So the AI sales rep gets a hold of them. It actually prompts the human sales rep, and then you got a human on, right? All right, Augustine, thanks for hopping on, man. Get to your meeting. I'm going to finish out anyone else who has questions here. Michael, how does communicating maintenance with an AI setup look like? Okay, how does communicating maintenance with an AI setup look like? Can you give me some more question or context on that, Michael? So do you mean like, what does the maintenance mode look like? Yes, RJ, still book a call. If you're a beginner coach, that's totally fine, man. I can at least give you some insights. Whether you end up moving forward or working with me or not, I can help out. At least get you going with some initial tools. Okay. So Michael didn't respond back on this. So how does communicating maintenance with an AI setter look like? So maintenance with an AI setter what it looks like is just fine tuning it with more data. So the maintenance mode is oftentimes like, think about it as like paid ads, right? When you first launch a paid ads campaign, for anyone who's run paid ads, you're not going to hit it perfect, right? Your conversions and those opt-ins and people's retention is not going to be perfect from the start. So what maintenance looks like in paid ads is if you feed it more data or you make adjustments or you optimize based on the data that you're getting, right? And then that's when you crack the code, you figure out, oh, this is the creative that works. Here's the copy messaging that works. Now that we've had like, $10 to $50 per day on the ad budget, and we know this is clicking, we see the metrics, we see the KPIs. Now we bump it from $50 per day to $100 per day, right? So that's what maintenance will look like. The same thing with an AI setter or an AI sales rep is think about it operating very similar to a paid ads campaign. You have a testing phase, collect data, you make sure the metrics are right. You then make changes to the AI with the engineering, with how it goes about this process, right? Based on that data, you feed it to the AI, it improves upon itself. Again, it gets smarter, makes more intelligent decisions. It gets better and better and better as more time and data comes along. And then, boom, growth unlocks. So just like how people will go from like 30,000, 50,000 a month in their coaching business to 100K per month in like 60 to 90 days because they figured out the unlock with paid ads, the same thing can happen with AI reps. Is you go through that initial testing phase, you like maintenance mode, then you optimize, and then once you figure out a sequence that actually flows, then you just got to keep maintaining and make sure the metrics are hitting, right? So that's how we talk about maintenance and how I think about it. All right. Okay, cool. Luis says you're a wizard, brother. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Waleed, that is the actual let me make sure you have the right link. Okay. Make sure you're at Amen. Can you make sure we have the right link? I think we broke the link possibly. Maybe there's too much traffic at once. Let's see. Okay, no, it's that one. Yep. Amen just had the right one. All right. Cool. All right, guys. So any other questions? Any other questions? Drop a me in the chat if you guys got value today. If you guys are taking something away from this, right? Me. And I want to hear from you guys. What's the biggest takeaway that you guys got from today? As we wrap things up, we're gonna end here in like a few minutes. What's the biggest takeaway that you got from this? Biggest lesson, right? It's the biggest lesson you took away. Yep. Luis is visualizing efficiency. Yep. Love that. Dennis can says how a sales rep can leverage AI to make more money while working less. All right. Sam, this is more than just booking. No, it's just my booking. I'm opening up some slots next week. So the link that you got from Amen is actually just my call calendar. Yep. Dennis says how much AI can do. Trixina says it's a must learn to do. Yep. Less complex, lean team, high margins. Right, RJ. Exactly, y'all. Whether or not, you decide to, work with me or take me up on the offer, doesn't matter, guys. I wanted to at least get you some resources today, get you some insights. If you want to just jam on like Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, or wherever you found me on Twitter, email, the school group, if you just want to jam too on text, feel free to reach out to me. I'll open up my DMs over the next 24 hours, right? Well, Lead says the lesser the humans, the lesser the human errors, more efficiency. Michael says a lick of how significant it is and some insight of how it works. Perfect. All right, y'all. Well, thank you again for your attention. I just want to give you my sincere and utmost gratitude for your time. We went a lot longer than we wanted to, right? We went almost 2 hours today, about an hour and 57 minutes here. So, and we had still the vast majority of you guys stay the whole call. So, thank you for tuning into the AI Sales Masterclass, guys. Again, book out the call. There's a link. There's the last chance. Save that link if you haven't already. If you want to chat, I'm opening up my DMs for you. Drop me an AI sales in the DMs so I know you actually saw this replay or you came from this masterclass. Again, AI sales in the DMs to me, whether you hit me up on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or the school, I will prioritize that message because, guys, my inbox is flooded with DMs. Sometimes, I'm just not gonna always see that. So if you DM me AI sales in any of the platforms, I know you came from this masterclass, and we can chat, right? We can chat. So if you also want the recording, drop AI sales. We'll get you the recording. I'll get you all this stuff. I'll get you the resources. You can even get some of the resources that we talked about here today, like the Notion, different things like that. Just drop an AI sales in the DMs with me, and I'll get you that. With that being said, guys, again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your attention, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Sayonara, Sensei out.